Hey, this is Ed Rigsby. Today we're going to talk about value-based selling. Hey, I got to tell you, the one thing as I've been talking with more and more speakers, I'm just really starting to see that there's a huge need for better understanding value in selling to associations and communicating your value proposition. So with that being said, I put together a presentation and hopefully we'll just see how things go. Hopefully the share gods are working and you can see a screen. Let me move it to presentation mode. Okay, we are on presentation mode. Very cool. So the title today is Value-Based Selling, Influencing Association Decision Makers. So here's the thing. Many of you know that I have been interviewing association decision makers for probably 3-4 years now. And in the ASSC vault, we have over 70, yes, over 70 interviews with decision makers. Some of them state associations, some of them national, some of them trade associations, some of them professional society. I've even done some interviews with the Society of Association Executive Groups and industry buyers. Everybody's pretty much telling me the same thing. It's all about value. So let me ask you the hard question. I know I'm probably maybe as guilty as you, but I get antsy and want to sell a speech. I want to make the revenue. I want the deposit check. I want to put something on my calendar. But are you focused on you, which many of us do, or are you focused on them? If you're focused on them, you're selling a solution. Because let's face it, most of these association people, they don't just want to fill a slot. No, I know some do. I get it. Some do. Some just want to fill a slot. But most of them, while they have to fill a slot, more importantly, they want to fill the slot with the right speaker, the speaker that's bringing more to the table than the next speaker. So let me ask you this. When you're talking to association decision makers, are you explaining how you are different, better, special within your topic? Are you unique? Are you one of a kind? And more importantly, can you explain it? Now, some people are able to say, yeah, I'm unique because of this, that, or the other, but a lot of people have troubles explaining it. Now, a number of you have probably seen my positioning worksheet. And what this is, it's all of the strings that lead from the U circle to the lower large canopy are the things that you do, the things that you are, the things that make you the speaker that you are. But within that, you have to select a topic. Now, I know that you don't like to be pigeonholed, and neither do I, but associations need to pigeonhole us into what is your topic? What is your area of expertise? And even better, what is your area of thought leadership? Okay, let's just take leadership. Okay, that's as good as any. There are really a lot of speakers. If you go to the ASSC directory, or if you go to the Virtual Speakers Hall of Fame directory, you're going to see a ton of speakers on, you guessed it, leadership. That's okay, nothing wrong with that. But here's the hard part, the little canopy on the top on your screen here. How are you different, better, special? Let's use the word unique, which basically means one of a kind. How are you unique in your topic? Because that's part of the value that you bring. Just showing up to an association meeting and speaking on leadership, yeah, there's about 5,000 other people that can do it. And there's lots of people that can do it for less money than you're willing to charge. So you have to come in with a special, unique different approach to leadership and not saying, well, I'm a little bit different than Joe, or I'm kind of like Sally, but. No, it's I speak on leadership and my unique approach is, and then you have to be able to explain that and explain that why that matters to them, why that matters to their attendees, and how it brings value to their attendees. So let's talk about some of the things that I've learned through these interviews that I've done, these 70 plus interviews, that decision makers have told me create value for them. And I think that's really important that you understand these. So, number one, respecting their schedule for materials. I can't tell you how many of these decision makers, when I ask at the end of the interview, what drives you crazy about speakers? It's that they don't respect our schedule. They don't get the pictures to me on time. They don't get the marketing materials to me on time. They don't get the descriptions on time. They don't get the PowerPoint on time, whatever it is. You got to remember, associations, they're trying to sell their members on attending a meeting. They're trying to put out their marketing materials in a timely manner. And if you're diddling around and not getting your stuff to them in a timely manner for them, you're holding them up. And guess what? You are becoming not valuable, but unvaluable and a pain in the neck. Now, if you're willing to help promote an event for the association that really matters to them, if you have a tremendous LinkedIn and or Facebook and or Instagram and or TikTok following, and some of those people are within their industry, if you're out there willing to say, yeah, I will do promotion for you, that creates value for them. And that may be the differentiator between you and the next person that's asking the same price. How about multiple programs in one day? You're there, okay? You spend all this time to do the customizing. You spend all this time to fly there. You're going to be there. You may or may not be able to get out that evening. Good chance you'll have to go the next day. Why not be different, better, special by letting a meeting planner know, yeah, you pay my keynote fee of, let's just say, $10,000 for a round number. And I will, while I'm there, give you a additional workshop or breakout. Or maybe they'll negotiate for two, who knows? But that creates more value because if you fill a slot they don't have to fill, that's money they save. Also, all of these association people have been telling me, oh my gosh, they've been telling me this. You've got to customize your program. And when I say customize, here on the slide I put beyond AI. Okay, yes, AI is going to help you to get an idea of their problems and challenges. But I will tell you, for 35 years in this business, one of my differentiations was always I would want to interview 4, 5, 6 people, generally board members, sometimes newer people. I would also try to find out if there was a member in my area within a couple-hour drive, and I would go visit. Hey, I've been to a tortilla factory, and there's funny pictures of me with the machete and the thing on my hat and the robe that everybody laughed at. I've been to an onion processing plant where I lasted less than a minute in the processing plant before my eyes started watering. I've been to a ice production plant. I mean, you name it. I've been to chemical distribution, to appliance. I went to an appliance distribution place, and the coolest thing is the owner says, "Here, Ken, let me take you over to the other building." The other building was his dad's car collection of antique cars. So you never know what you're going to see. But the point is, when you go to their site, if you can, if it's possible, you make a friend, you really understand what their business is about, you take some pictures yourself, and you use those in your presentation, and it makes them feel like you understand their industry better. You can add value by adding to the I can't even talk, to the attendee experience. Now, I'll talk in a minute about this, but the different generations are looking for different things. And more and more, we're hearing that attendees want an experience. And if you can convince the decision maker that you will make it an experience, then that's going to put you head and shoulders above another person that can't. And if you can explain how your presentation is going to improve the effectiveness of every attendee, and the extra dollars that that's going to save their members, that's going to make the meeting planner and the association look like heroes. Let's continue. How about books? Now, I believe that today a New York style book is really good for positioning, for getting a higher fee. That's wonderful. And at the same time, self-published books, you own them very inexpensively, and you can throw those in, when you're negotiating. And, let's say you're negotiating a $10,000 fee and they're hemming and hawing and trying to squeeze you. And then you say, well, I'll tell you what, pay the $10,000 fee. I'll throw in 100 books. My book retails for $24.95. Well, their conversation with themselves is you just gave them $2,400. So look at those types of things. It's all about offering, to show more value, a follow-up webinar. And sometimes meeting planners go, really? You'll do a follow-up webinar? Absolutely. And you and I both know that when we do the follow-up webinars, it's really an opportunity for you and I to sell our services to their members. Because always remember, associations are the gateway to corporations. So speaking at associations, that's the gateway to selling to corporations. And you always talk to a meeting planner about what is the level of the audience. Are they A level, B level, C level, whatever you can, or a 10 level, a 5 level, a 1 level, whatever. So a level of an audience, meaning their expertise, their sophistication, who are they? Now, then overlay that with the level of speaker you are. So if they've got a high level or a highly sophisticated audience, they don't want a hayseed for a speaker. Okay, so you can talk about your speaker skill without bragging, your speaker expertise, and your speaker credibility. This is all about you having the craft, and you are more than simply subject matter expert. You are a thought leader. So the other thing in proving value, demonstrating value, is know your customer. Now, this is where you got to do a little bit of work beforehand. And I want to talk to you about the personas. They're not avatars. An avatar is, okay, this is the exact person. No, a persona is this kind of a person, this group of a person. So in looking at the persona variables for the people in the association words you're going to be selling to, so you've got gender as a variable, you've got generational as a variable, and you have title as a variable. Okay, so we've got, are they a male or are they a female that you're working with, you're selling to? Are they a baby boomer? Are they a Gen X? Are they a millennial? Are they a Gen Z? And I will tell you, the more and more I've been learning, talking to these association people, that the Gen Z meeting decision makers, their belief is their attendees want experience. And when you ask them, what's an experience? They want an experiential thing happen to where their attendees are very, very involved. So if all you do is lecture and you don't bring your audience into it, you're going to have a heck of a time selling to the Gen Z. Also, on this variable, is the person an executive director or a CEO? Or might they be a VP or a director of meetings or conferences? So in looking at gender, generational, and title, these are all things that you've got to understand and maybe figure out before you talk to the person that is the decision maker understand how they see the world, how they possibly see value, as opposed to how somebody else that you're not speaking to sees value, and do your homework. I think you'll find it'll be easier for you to sell value. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. Knowledge equals sales. If you want to sell to trade associations and professional societies, have the knowledge, do the homework. Well, that's it for today. Aiden, back to you.